Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael and today I thought I would show you how to make eggplant rollatini. I've got an eggplant here and with a few other ingredients we're going to put this dish together. It is real easy to make and it is absolutely delicious. So what we're going to do is I've given an eggplant here a little bit of a wash, and when you're looking for one of these, you want to, the kind that I've got here is kind of, it's fairly good size, but it's got nice symmetry on it from the top to the bottom. That way when we cut our slices here, it'll be kind of even from the top to the bottom. So definitely when you're looking for one of those, definitely take a look at that. We're going to cut the top and the bottom off of it. And now I'm just going to kind of take it and see where I'm going to get the most cuts out of it. You can turn it one direction and might get fewer cuts out of it. Cut it, turn it in another direction, you might get a little bit more out of it. So definitely as you're cutting this, take a look at it. And I believe with cutting it this way, I'm going to get the maximum out of it. So I'm going to cut this little outside off right here. And with these, you can cut these between 1/4 to 1/2 inch. And if you get them any smaller than 1/4 inch, when you try to roll them up, they're just going to fall apart because we're going to bake these in the oven. So I'm going to kind of cut these at about 1/4 inch and just kind of go through those and just kind of eyeball that down. So that's where I'm going to run with these. So I'm going to continue to cut these up in that same dimension that I've got there, and we'll see how many we get out of here. All right, so now that I've got my eggplant cut up now, I do have my oven preheating to 375. You want to get that started early on because we'll be putting these in the oven to bake these. I've got a baking tray here. It's got walls on the side of it. I'm going to be putting some olive oil on that, and I've got some parchment paper on the bottom that to make that easier for that to come off the bottom of the pan. If you've got a seal mat sheet, you can definitely use one of those instead. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put these into my pan that I've got here. All right, now that I've got these in my baking pan here, I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil on the top of them, and we'll just kind of spread that around over the top. I'm just going to take a brush and we're just going to kind of brush that in there. I'm going to put some on the back of it too, that way I can get my salt and pepper on it. So I'm going to season this side first, and we're just going to grind up some fresh pepper on it. And then I'm going to grind up a little bit of salt on it. Now we're going to turn these over and do the other side the same way. All right, now that I've got my eggplant seasoned, I'm going to put these in the oven. I'll put these on the middle rack of the oven, and I'm going to bake these on 375 for about 20 to 25 minutes. We want these to get really soft because what we're going to do is once they soften up, is we'll be able to roll them and we'll be able to put our filling in them. So I'm going to go ahead and pop these in the oven, and we'll come back and we'll make our filling for our eggplant rollatini. All right, my eggplant is now cooking in the oven, and while we're doing that, we're going to go ahead and start with our filling. So I've got 1/3 cup of ricotta cheese, and I'm just going to put that into this bowl here. This is whole milk ricotta. I did not use the reduced fat ricotta milk, but if you want to, you definitely can do that. Then I've got 1 egg here, and I'm going to break that open, and we're going to put that into our bowl. I'll first check it to make sure that it's a good one. We've got a good egg, let's put that in. Then I've got some basil here that I've cut, and just get a couple of sprigs of that, and that way we'll put that into our mixture as well. I'm going to cut some of these stems off, pull some of these leaves off of it, and with that I'm just going to kind of roll it up just a little bit there, and then just take your knife and just kind of give it just a rough little chop there. We'll put that into our bowl. I've got 1 lemon here. I'm going to use the zest of that. I've got my zest planer here, and we're just going to zest it right into the bowl. Be careful with this thing. Once I've got that zested, I'm just going to put that right into the bowl with my other ingredients. We'll save that lemon for something else. And then I've got some Parmesan Reggiano. I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and I'm going to grate some of that right into my mixture here. And with my grater, I'm going to use the small teeth here on my grater box, and I'm just going to grate that right into there. I've got my Parmesan now, and then that's about 2 or 3 tablespoons just from looking at it. And we want to mix that all together. All right, we've got everything mixed together now. I'm gonna go back here and check out my eggplant, and we'll get ready to assemble this for our dish. All right, I've got my eggplant out of the oven now. It is really hot. I'm gonna set it over here on this trivet that I've got here. I'm gonna go get me some gloves on so I can handle it, or you can just let it cool down for just a minute so we can get started making our dish. All right, now I've got a baking dish here. I've got a 9 by 13 baking dish, and I'm gonna put just a little bit of oil in the bottom of it. That way when this cooks, it'll be just a little bit easier for that to clean up. And now what you want to do is get your favorite marinara sauce, and we're going to put just a little bit down into the bottom, and we'll kind of spread that out. It'll be roughly about a quarter of a cup. And with that in there now, we're just going to kind of get that around and spread that across the bottom. And if you need a little bit more, you definitely can put it in there. All right, now as we'll start making our dish now. So I'm going to take one of my eggplants, and you can see they're really flexible now, how that works. So just take whatever side you want to, and we're going to be folding it up. And I've got a spoon here, and I'm going to take just a little bit of my filling here, and I'm going to put that on my eggplant right here at the bottom. And with that, we're just going to take it and we're going to roll it in on itself just like that. And with that, we'll put the seam at the bottom and put that right into our baking dish. And I'm going to continue to fill up the rest of them. So now that we've got our eggplants filled up, I'm going to take some more of this marinara sauce and just kind of spread this over the top. And just kind of spread that around over the top with the back of a spatula. All right, now that we've got our marinara sauce on, let's put a little bit of salt and pepper over the top. And we have to have cheese. So I've got some mozzarella cheese here, and I'm going to shred me some fresh mozzarella on the top. With this one, I'm going to use the bigger holes on this so I can spread it around on the top of it. All right, now that we've got that shredded, I'm just going to put some clumps on the top of each one of my little eggplants here. All right, that was about a quarter of that, maybe a little over that, of a 16-ounce block of cheese, so you can kind of gauge that. Definitely put as much on it as you like. I love cheese. I'm going to put these back in that preheated 375-degree oven, and we'll cook these for about 20 to 25 minutes. We want that cheese to melt on that and get that really hot, and we'll come back and look at this and give this a taste test. Stick with me. I am back. My eggplant rollatini is done, and it looks absolutely delicious and smells that way too. I'm going to let this cool off just a minute. I'm going to get me a plate together, and we'll come back and we'll give this a taste test. Stick with me. I am back, and I've got my plates plated. I want to show you what this looks like. This could not be any prettier, and the smell of this is absolutely incredible. I did put a little bit more of that basil on the top of it there, and on my pasta side here, I grated up some more cheese because who doesn't love cheese? So let's give this a taste. We can see all of that nice filling that's inside of that eggplant. I'm going to give that a little cut there like that. Going to give this a taste. Wow, this smells absolutely incredible. I know it's going to taste just as good. That is absolutely delicious. I know you're going to love this recipe. I can't wait to hear from you in the comment section what you think of this recipe, or if you've made eggplant rollatini before, what did you do different? I'd love to hear from you. If you like this content, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And check out one of the other two videos over here on the side. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Try this recipe. I know you're going to love it. I'm going to finish my meal off, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now.